you've ever wondered what really wealthy people have as money questions, we're going to go through them all today. We'll see you on the other side of the intro.
I always want to say, dun, dun, dun.
I know you do. Shut up. Welcome back to another episode of Playbook of the Wealthy. My name is Dave Grant. My co-host is Heather Townsend. As always, we are talking about real questions that real wealthy families have and the issues they're going through. You're going to get almost like the insight into what these people are going through in their everyday lives. If you have been to our podcast before, you obviously know the format, but it's different today. We are just doing questions. There's no deep dive into content. We're just hitting you with questions again and again. So that means we're skipping Let's Dive In. We are going right into our question segment. It is called What Would You Do?
We might disagree.
We will.
You think we will disagree?
Heck yeah.
All right. Oh, I like that.
Okay.
Let's go. Do you know that I'm also ending this? Nope, I know you want to talk so bad.
Yes.
I also want to give a little teaser because you don't know what the question is, but I'm doing Would You Rather. And I want to know, I'm poking right at who you are.
Oh, crap. Okay.
Well, because it's gonna be funny, not in a bad way, but I'm like, it's just, I know you, and then I thought of would you rather as I was flying, and I was like, oh, I wonder what Dave would answer on this question.
I was thinking, are you going to single me out and just expose who I really am on camera?
I think you will laugh at this question. Okay, it's not that bad. All right, but that's at the end.
Okay, well, let's jump in. Question number one. I make $120,000 per year. I have been told that if I buy a piece of rental real estate and use it as a short-term rental, I can get my tax bill down to $0. Is that true?
My client literally asked me this off of an Instagram post.
Okay.
Like, oh dear gosh. The answer is yes.
$0.
You could get it down to $0.
Wow. Okay.
Now, of course, it's the details matter here, right? Mm-hmm. The way that you can get it down is through depreciation. And typically, you have to depreciate the building portion of the real estate over 27 and a half years. But in the new tax bill, there's 100% bonus depreciation. Okay? Are you with me so far? Am I doing good at Eli 5?
I'm good. Are they? I don't know.
I don't know. But why the short-term rental loophole matters, that's what it's kind of called, is the short-term rental loophole, is on one of our real estate podcast episodes. Do you remember me saying that if you're just doing a long-term rental, normally if your income is high, you can't really offset the losses because you don't have passive income, right? So this person is making $120,000 per year. Not my client, the question though.
Sure.
That was found on Instagram. He's W-2, we're assuming here. There's not really that many deductions for a W-2 person. Right. The short-term rental loophole allows you to offset rental losses from your non-passive income. So ordinary income, W-2 income. Now, of course, there's stipulations. You got to be with a good CPA to be able to do this. And it depends on the type of building you buy and how much depreciation you can pull out of it. And you're going to have to do a cost seg to pull it off. So what a cost seg is the part of the building, there are certain parts of it, like appliances and flooring and maybe some HVAC parts. Did I say furniture?
No.
Furniture that have different depreciation lives. So you can be like, oh, that's typically a 5-year life asset. That's a 7-year life asset. And then because of the tax bill, you can actually take 100% in the year. So, right, if this building had a ton of those types of pieces that you could pull out, $120,000 of depreciation, you just wiped away your tax bill. But it's details, right? This isn't a clean answer. It's like, yes, it's possible. Make sure before you buy the building, if you can cost seg it. Let me give an example. One of my clients bought a property on the beach. This is actually a fantastic example. We're definitely doing the short-term rental loophole. Okay, they are Airbnb-ing it. It is part of their plan. They have always wanted to be on the beach, so this also matters. Okay. They're not using it. It's a second home situation. They're not using it all the time, so we're renting it out. Dave, guess what is more valuable? How valuable do you think that land is?
Well, where do they live?
The property is on the ocean.
What ocean?
California.
Not the land.
The land. The building, the condo. It's like 20% of the value of the land, even though it's a really nice condo. Like the land is the most valuable. Land isn't depreciable.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
like doing a cost seg doesn't make sense, right? In that kind of situation.
Right.
So you really got to know the details on this one.
Sure.
And I think this is also where the tax tail can wag the dog. Some of my clients who have had rentals, they don't enjoy having rentals. Like that text message in the middle of the night, like, I'm cold. Where's the other comforter? And then you're on Amazon ordering a comforter to the place. It's not fun. Some people don't want that as a peace of mind. But to answer it, yes, it is possible. Short-term rental loophole. Question 2. I have rolled over 401ks to my IRA my whole career. When using retirement income calculators, it asked me what part of my balance was tax deductible and what wasn't. How do I know? And how do I answer this question? That's a good question.
So this was emailed to us a while ago. And while I emailed that person back the answer, I was surprised and thinking, well, I should probably talk about this because I'm not sure it's just them that have gone through that situation. It's probably more people.
I love that they emailed us too. Again, I just want to keep saying, I love the emails.
You do.
I know.
All right. So this is something, unfortunately, that if you track it too late, it's going to be very difficult. So if you make contributions to your 401k and some of it is tax deferred and some of it you pay taxes on and you put it in the after tax portion of the 401k and then you roll all over, you have to be able to track that then.
That's where the IRA part of rolling into IRA, I don't love people doing that don't have financial advisors.
Right.
I'm just going to be honest. That's where I think you roll into a 401k where they force you to tell you, is this pre-tax or after tax? And then they track it for you. There's too many mistakes that can happen here.
Agreed. Now, let's say that you've done this twice and you've done a pre-tax and an after-tax rollover and you've done it twice. Well, sometimes you go back to that plan provider and say, do you have the records of the split? Can you give me my final statement and so I can understand the split and maybe I can then do some math calculations going forward to determine what is tax deductible and what is not. Good luck, because that's not on them. That's not their job, but they may be able to help you. Another way you can go and look at statements of when you rolled it in. So if the 401k is no help, go to your first IRA statement and see if you can figure it out there. Sometimes you may be able to track this from tax forms. Like this is very piecemeal at this point. You have to be tracking this on an ongoing basis to make it accurate and make sure the IRS is appeased.
I am going to hope that it's all one bucket. I'm going to hope for this person that it's all tax deductible, that was all pre-tax money. Because if not,
it wasn't, but they didn't track it. So when I was emailing this client, or it wasn't even a client, it was just a listener back, I was like, if you haven't tracked this and you don't know, then the default answer is it's all pre-tax. And you have to pay tax on the amount that you've already paid taxes on. I hope it's not that big. But if you don't have the records, the IRS is just going to go to the default of it's all pre-tax. And unless you can prove otherwise, you have to pay the tax.
I'm also going to go on my Heather tangent for a second. Financial literacy in this country needs some help. We all know that. And I don't think the financial institutions help either. Like the 401k statements, even as an advisor, we're good advisors. We know, we talk about these terms all day. I look at a client's 401k statement and it's like the wild, wild west. I'm like, what term are they using for after tax? What term are they using for pre-tax? What term are they? It should be a law. We use the same wording. It's after tax, it's pre-tax, and it's Roth. And you should have to separate them on the 401k statement or even on an IRA statement. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, keep going.
You're like, I don't want you going more on tangent. All right. My son just had his cell phone stolen and it had my credit card in the case. Uh-oh. What do we do and what protections do we have against theft?
Do you know who emailed this in?
No.
Me. So
This happened to you?
very close. My son came out of a wrestling practice. It was probably like last week, looking distraught. And he got in
Wait, hold on. Good parenting. He looked distraught. So he made a mistake. And he feels bad. Good parenting. Good
So
parenting.
he gets in the car and I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, there's a basketball tournament in school. My bag was not in the place I left it and the pockets were opened and I can't find my phone. And I'm like, okay, well, we track your phone. I can tell you where it is exactly. It's in the car. And he's like, no, it's not. It's not in the pocket. They had taken it out and they had thrown it in a different pocket in his bag that he hadn't looked in yet. So then the look of relief wasn't there yet. So I'm like, you just found your phone. Like, what's the problem? It's like, but your credit card, I have my kids' names like linked to my credit card account and they have their own cards. He's like, but your credit card was in the case. I thought it was like gone. That was an educating moment for me. A, because he was feeling bad that I was out, not him, from a phone. But then it was an educational moment of, okay, I have to tell you what is the process here. This is not like you losing money. If this happens to you, if that phone was gone, I'm going to go home and I'm going to call the bank. I'm going to cancel the credit card.
That's number one.
Then I'm going to have new cards issued for everyone tied to that account, new card numbers and everything. And it's going to cancel every single card. The nice thing, because it's a credit card, I don't deal with debit cards. Credit cards have fraud protection on them. So any purchase that is made on that card that is not you are not liable for.
And note to clients, this is exactly why I don't want you using debit cards. It's a way different problem if cash is taken out of your bank account.
Yeah. So I told him that if someone had stolen it from school and they had gone to McDonald's and they'd gone to Best Buy and they'd done everything like that, it's not coming out of my pocket because I'm going to tell the bank that card was stolen. And now the bank's going to take it and they're going to go to the institutions and say that was a stolen credit card, give us the money back. It's not on me. And the look, he got some color back in his face.
He's such a good son. Was this Eli or Logan?
This was Logan, so I was a little surprised. He
the
was
younger one.
The not as financially astute son.
I'm really impressed. Okay.
Yeah. And so at that point, if it was stolen, I would then be putting a freeze on my credit. Because the next trip-on effect is, okay, if they got my credit card, chances are they could get my social, and then they could be opening up lines of credit. You just have to take it to the worst case scenario.
Do you know that I do recommend freezing credit? I freeze my own credit. It is a pain. It is a pain.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I have to do something, but I freeze it. It's not worth the headache.
Question number 4. My portfolio has been steadily growing and is now over $5 million.
Good work.
My broker is approaching me about adding hedge funds, limited partnerships, and long-short funds.
Oh, boy.
What are these, and are they worth it?
So I actually had a prospect I sat down with a few weeks ago, and her advisor put her in this stuff.
Okay.
Guess how many pages the statement was?
Over 50?
172 pages.
That's disgusting.
It is disgusting. How can you even track this? And she's approaching like financial freedom. She's going to need to pull from this. And, they're definitely taking an AUM fee, which is fine. But then I'm also like, how do you even know?
Using jargon again.
Sorry. Okay, sorry. They're taking a fee, like a percentage from these assets, right, as their fee, which is fine. But then I'm like, how much commission are you getting off of these, like, other investments that they're in?
Yeah.
That you're paying to these people? And what are the expense ratios on these? Like, they are just fees stacking upon fees upon fees.
Yeah.
And how do you track all these holdings? I mean, it must have been 200 plus holdings. And how liquid is this person, too? Like, a mess. So,
Do you want to tell people what these things are? Explain it like they're 5. Good luck.
I mean, you do it in, let's go back and forth. Hedge fund, I would say that they are trying to outperform the market. That is the easiest. They have some different strategy and they are trying to outperform the market, and it's not liquid.
Right.
And normally it's K1. Like you're getting it's a different tax form that you're getting than a 1099 from a brokerage account.
And typically very expensive.
Very
your
expensive.
regular advisor is taking 1% of your investments. A hedge fund is taking 2% plus 20% of the profit.
Yes, exactly. And most of the time they don't outperform.
Right.
Okay. Limited partnerships. You are investing in, it could be a real estate, it could be, I guess, some type of investment. Let's say you are a limited partner. Again, it's going to have another tax form you got to put on your tax return, similar to a 1099, but not liquid.
A lot of them are used for tax purposes, right? Limited partnerships, while they're trying to get the gain, they're sometimes touted as we can get you a big tax deduction.
I'm guessing like the oil and gas investments are probably limited partnerships. I know some of the real estate investment funds that some of my clients are in limited partnerships. I'm guessing that's where it is. But I don't have a lot of this because it doesn't go with my clients' goals, right? Like this is why, I mean, you could also be a limited partner if you're investing in some company. That's a little different.
Sure.
Long short funds. This one I'm not as mad at of these 3 options, I will say, because that can happen. You and I have talked about that. That could be, it's a little risky. They're loaning more than the account balance. So let's say you invested 100 they might be taking a loan on 130 of that. So they're using 100, but also 30, and they are trying to create short losses. This could be great if you are about to exit a business or something like that. You're about to have huge capital gains. This could work in a client situation, but there are risks. This person's doing great. They've already built a $5 million portfolio. Why?
Yeah, it's almost like this is not a benefit to the client. This is more of a benefit to the advisor to show that they are providing value. When in actual fact, it doesn't provide value. It provides complexity that is unnecessary.
And this is exactly why I think the prospect came and sat down with me. They don't understand. It's so messy. They can't even get their arms around it. And they're just like, okay.
Yeah.
I would have anxiety if my statement was that big.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they're not worth it. And I wouldn't recommend it. And I'd go back to your goals. If you want to play a little bit, if there's something like, I really want to just be an angel investor and invest in some companies just for fun, that's your rodeo money. Be prepared. You could lose it and have some fun. That's fine. But I don't think it's necessary. And if your goal is financial freedom as fast as possible, no.
All right. Question 5. My wife and I are 64 and we have a net worth of approximately $9 million. This is my second marriage. I'll be receiving an inheritance from my father in about 2 years of $15 million. Do you suggest, and is there a way to keep this separate from our own wealth? And is there a smart way to do it?
I mean, separate from your own wealth, probably if it doesn't make your spouse mad and then you have divorce on the window. I mean, I think there's two things. You need to be open with your spouse about this and have conversations. But there's opportunity here that if you did get divorced, doing the right things now so that it is very clear and you get to keep it separate if you were to ever get a divorce. And that is not commingling your money.
What does that mean?
So that means you are literally, when you get that 15 million inheritance, you're keeping in your accounts only, and you can just see that deposit cleanly in. You aren't commingling it with your joint accounts. It is completely separate.
Yeah.
And also, I would immediately, if this was my client, I'd be like, let's talk to an estate lawyer now. I like planning. I like to know what are the things we should be doing? What are the documents we should be writing? Because, right now with the spouse, it's not their money yet, right?
Sure.
So there's not emotion really probably as much tied to it. It might be very different when someone sees 15 million just drop in the accounts and how that feels. So I would recommend having these conversations now before it's here and putting the things in place legally so that it does stay separate if that's something you want to do.
I agree. I think this question comes from the two angles. Like this is protecting it from a divorce perspective, which, like you said, is commingling. But also when you dive down into state divorce law, if you receive an inheritance, regardless of how it's titled, is it still yours? Because I know that every state's different.
Exactly.
And so even if it is an account that is a clean account, but it could be titled not yours, is it an asset that is not available in divorce? Because it's a pure inheritance to you. A lawyer can only answer that question.
This is actually a really fun puzzle. I just thought of another thing. If it's 15 million now and it's just the father, depending on how these investments grow, they could have an estate tax problem, right? So maybe doing some planning also, like ahead of time, to avoid estate tax by gifting something in this. There's some planning if the father allows it too.
Sure. And I think that's where it's that family legacy planning with the estate planning attorneys. Because you can start to build different trusts that this inheritance will still pass along, but it could pass along as an asset or it could pass along as an income. And it could go to the person who's, various different designs. It could go to charity. It could go to people. It could go to other heirs. But this is not a simple problem. And sometimes it's not going to be a simple answer either if you want to keep this completely separate. And again, it just goes down to the goals of, well, what is the end goal of all of this? Do you want to keep this to yourself or do you want it to be sending this down to heirs and other charities in the smartest way?
This is a fun one. And dealing with the spouse dynamics too.
Yeah, that was just the money we were talking about. Now you bring people into it?
Yeah, that's
Holy
prickly.
cow, that's a mess.
Prickly. I mean, maybe the spouse is like, I don't care. It's their money. That's the easy one, but I don't know. It's bonus season at work. The company and I killed it last year. Awesome. I typically make $100,000 per year. My bonus will be approximately $225,000. I've never received this lump sum of money before. Can you guide me as to how to handle it? Oh, I love this listener.
Can you imagine getting a bonus that was 225% of your annual income? That's crazy.
For this it's like we think our listeners are clients. For this person that's just making 100,000, that's actually a really big jump.
It's huge.
I mean, it's different for an exec that are like our clients that have RSUs that are, but their base is already so big, right? This is a big jump. It's exciting. Congratulate yourself.
I think that there's a few different things here. One, taxes off the bat. Like this is pushing you up into tax brackets you haven't seen yet. So you're going to have to do some tax planning with this money in terms of estimated payments or holding money separately so you can do the payments throughout the year. The emotions that come along with getting a bonus this big are going to be interesting.
Wait, I'm going to disagree with you on the bonus. I'm allowed to disagree, right?
Yeah, but are you allowed to interrupt? I don't know.
We're still on taxes before you go to the other part.
Go ahead.
I don't know what you've seen on bonuses, but for some reason, payroll does something janky. I'm not a payroll expert. I don't run payroll unless for my business owner clients, but we're not dealing with this kind of. They withhold a ridiculously high percent on bonuses for some reason. There's something in the payroll tax law that I don't follow that bonuses withhold a ridiculous amount. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
There's a rumor going around that they do.
I know.
But is there a separate withholding for bonuses versus regular payroll?
Ooh, we should look this up.
I don't know if there is.
Let's actually look this up and report back on one of the episodes. Okay, moving on. So TBD, but we should check taxes. I would check taxes. I agree with you on that. Yeah. Okay.
So once your taxes are done, you got that net number. You then have to figure out the emotions. You're going to be flying high on this amount of money because you've never seen this amount of money before. But don't spend it.
All.
Yet.
That was good. That was funny. That was not planned. It was just like one word after another word after another word. And I'm going to say really quick, it's not how much you make. It's what you do with it that matters. And this really ties into this. Like this could be life-changing for this person, or it could be like, oh, where did it all go?
Exactly. I mean, let's say after taxes, it's 175.
Okay.
Is it accurate? Who knows?
Okay.
But let's use that number. Then if you don't have that plan in place, that 175 is gone fast.
Yes.
So then it's, okay, you're not doing anything with it yet. You're not even touching the money yet. It's almost like an inheritance situation. Like you have to let that sit for 6 months before you even make a decision. Like just get used to seeing that number. And now it's, okay, I have to save the majority of it, but I have to have some fun as well. Because you worked hard for that money. If you don't enjoy that money, you're going to start screwing yourself up mentally, money-wise.
This is why I love financial plans. I go to their life plan, like what they've designed their ideal life, and I know the savings goals. And I'm like, how do we speed these up? Let's boom, 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 boom. And which of these are we doing? And then you blend it. And the client is so happy because it's like, oh, I got a little bit here and I'm doing this and I have no guilt. And the beauty balance of financial planning.
Does that work if people get influxes of money? And what if it's to this magnitude? Like if they're earning 500 and their bonus is 1.5 million, like is that still gonna play out in the same way emotionally?
I mean, from what I've seen, that's why the registered life planning, I'm so grateful that I did that because I really, in one meeting, I get down to what a client's ideal life is. Like the amount of tears I see of my clients in a good way, right? That's how I know it's important to them. But if you know that, it's like, okay, one of my clients wants to build a house with a storm tower. If they got 1.5, I'd be like, fine, let's build the freaking storm tower with 300 and then right? It makes it easy when you know. The hard part is when you haven't done that deep work and you don't know. And which
is the majority of the United States.
And that's where I lose energy. That is honestly what you want to lose my energy. It's when people just want to sit on a pile of money and do nothing. I don't know what to do with that. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't give me energy.
The hard part about that is if you haven't done that planning, but you also don't know that money's coming. Because you can't do the planning if you don't know the money's coming.
So they should get a good plan. They should do some deep thinking.
Okay.
All right.
Question number 7. My dad just passed away and left my mom all of his assets. It's about $4 million in real estate, 1 commercial building, and several rental properties. She doesn't have the expertise or patience to handle these properties and the issues that arise. What advice can you give us as to how to handle it?
This is loaded too. It's a really good question. One, I would let's note, doesn't want to handle it. Okay. But I would still sit down because it's like, I want to make sure that we don't sell these and then they hate me later.
Yeah.
You need to explain other options. Like we could get property managers. Like what I would ask some deep questions. Like what do you not want to manage? Is there someone we could get in? Is it giving the cash flow that, could provide for the mom to live? We don't know yet, right? Like it's illiquid, but maybe there's a lot of rental income that's coming off and we have cash. So maybe we don't have to sell because depending on what state they're in, right? If they're in community property, they could have step up in basis.
Right.
We don't know what state they're in, but what's the tax implications if they sell $4 million of real estate?
Sure.
I mean, this is the hard part of selling real estate versus like selling a portfolio of $1 million. You can kind of parse it out over years. Real estate, you can't just sell a part of it.
Yeah.
You got to take the tax hit in 1 year. And what's that going to do to the $4 million versus, okay, I really want to leave a legacy to my kid. And then they get the full step up in basis, right?
Yeah.
This is loaded. But I think if they need the money, it's probably selling is what I'm going to guess. That's probably going to be the best.
Right.
But you need deep planning and understanding and hopefully a good advisor and CPA to understand basis. Like make sure that, hey, the husband passed away. There could be a step up in basis here too. That really helps with the taxes.
Yeah. I always like to reverse these situations on people. Like if you, mom, whose husband just passed away, if you had $4 million in cash that he gave you, would you then go and buy $4 million worth of real estate?
They would definitely not. Well, I mean, how many times have you ever
Exactly.
heard? Have you ever heard a client say, yes, I want to go add more complexity in my life? Who wants that?
The realtors are loving this question. They're like, you're giving me $4 million and I can go buy all the real estate I want to.
Okay, but I'm assuming this mom is, I mean, maybe I assumed wrong, but I'm guessing older, probably like 50s, 60s, 70s. People in this age of life don't want more complexity.
I agree. I mean, I think my advice in this is going to be, if mom doesn't want to, expertise-wise, and she doesn't have the patience, then you sell and you take the tax hit and she walks away with X million and she goes and lives her best life with that.
I mean, that's probably what would come to it. But
Yeah.
there needs to be some prep work and
Yep.
it's emotional. Mm-hmm. And also, let's not forget our number one rule. She just lost her husband.
Mm-hmm.
We're waiting 6 months at least to do any big decisions.
Agreed.
Yes. So Dave has no idea what's coming. I just came up with this thing that I want to ask him, and I'm going to do it live on the podcast just because. Look at Dave. Here he goes. So it's would you rather?
Okay.
You have a client. They have an extra $25,000 just got dropped on their lap. Would you rather them buy Bitcoin or an Hermes Birkin bag?
I have been through a love affair with Bitcoin. I despise Bitcoin.
But you've been through a love affair.
I loved it at some point.
You did?
And now I've gone through the emotional, I mean, I own Bitcoin at some point, like a very tiny amount. But now I've gone to the point of watching it be very volatile.
It's a very volatile.
There's so many stories and so many tax hiccups you can go through. I don't want anyone touching that.
Wow. So you would prefer the bag.
Get the bag.
I did not expect that answer.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Give me more.
Oh, I don't.
Is there more?
No, I think I'm just going to randomly throw them at you. I just thought of that idea and I'm like, I wonder what Dave would answer. And you totally shocked me. I thought you would pick Bitcoin.
Yeah. Not about the coins.
Okay. So you like this game. So I can
I do. Yeah. I thought it was going to be way worse.
I can come up with more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Before we move on, if you've been to this podcast before, if you like the Playbook of the Wealthy, if you could do us a favor, give us a like, a comment, a follow, subscribe, send it to your mom, or share it with your roommate. I don't know. Do something. If you haven't been here before, you get to sit back and hear highlights, which is our section where we go and tell you about our personal, professional life, anything we want to. So thank you. Your highlight has an exclamation point at the end of it.
There's going to be comments that are going to come out when I share this, but I'm going to do it anyways.
Yep. Go ahead.
All right. So I started weightlifting, something I thought I would never do.
I noticed that you're getting jacked now.
Okay, that's not the point. That's not what I wanted to do. I literally did this just for longevity, feeling good. I was told I needed to do this by multiple people.
You want to get sculpted? Yep. Keep going.
No, I did not want to bulk up. But what I'm so shocked at is I have lost 2% body fat.
You don't have much body fat. You don't have much body.
That's why I'm shocked. So when I first did my body scan after the girls, my, BMI, what's the fat percentage to your body or whatever?
Sure, yeah.
Whatever that one is, it was not great.
Okay.
I was skinny fat.
Okay.
So, I was really shocked that in 2 months I lost 2% body fat. I've replaced that with muscle. So I'm still like the same weight. I'm not trying to do this to lose weight. But I was like, wow, this is really working. And I do feel really different.
That's
I'm
good.
shocked. So that is my highlight. I like weightlifting. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Coming up on episode 146, watch Heather deadlift 250 pounds.
No, I still can't really lift the bar. The other women are lifting the bar and I'm over by the dumbbells. I get, they changed the things.
They changed the program for you. All right, my highlight kind of threw me and Sarah for a loop. Like, we have done planning for college for our boys since they were born. We got a gift from a family member that was a generous gift to both our boys to help with their college planning. That has meant that our college planning strategy now has to change in a good way.
Yeah, this is a good problem to have. This is champagne problems.
It is.
Yes.
I'm very aware that this is a wonderful problem to have, but it's a weird problem. So I'm like, oh, that goal that we've been working for the last 15 years is now, it could be done if we choose to not save anymore. I haven't had that before.
I'm so happy for you because I know you and Sarah's story when you first got married. Broke
as a joke, yeah.
It was a joke?
Broke as a joke.
Broke as a joke, yes. Yeah. I didn't want to say that, but if you're comfortable sharing, yes, very, very broke. Mm-hmm. So the fact that you're here, I'm so happy for you. And I think it's really well deserved. I mean, you work hard. Clearly, I wouldn't do a podcast with you otherwise, so.
Thanks. Appreciate you too.
But I'm really happy for you.
It will require us to redo our financial plan.
Yeah, and you can maybe do your remodel faster.
One step at a time.
Oh, all right. I knew I was going to get you out of your comfort zone a little bit.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to this episode of Playbook of the Wealthy. If you want to find us and listen to us, we're on every podcast platform you can find. If you want to listen and watch us, we're on video. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, LinkedIn. If you want to send us an email, get your question featured like one of these ones here, you can email us at hello@playbookotw.com. While you're there, go check our website, playbookotw.com, and we will see you next time.
And it's proof. We really answer them. I love the questions. All right, toodles.
All opinions expressed by Dave Grant and Heather Townsend are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the views of their respective wealth management firms. This podcast is for informational purposes only, should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Nothing in this material constitutes a solicitation for the sale or purchase of any securities. Clients of Retirement Matters and Townsend Financial may maintain positions in the securities discussed in this podcast.